go to sleep, open my eyes, I'm looking down. Whenever you're calling, baby, you know I turn around. I see your face, but not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. 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 Push the tempo. Push the push the I'll go to sleep. Open my eyes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, August 29th, 2016, and this is the 100th episode. And I'll make sure it's... Okay, so if you're watching the live stream or the Twitch VOD, I didn't restart the stream. I kept it going, but I realized as I was typing... well, first off, I realized after I started the stream that I should probably, make reference to 100th episode somewhere in the show title. Well, not show title, but in the... in this thing here. So I started writing like a 100th episode extraordinaire, and I couldn't remember if it was silent A or not. It's a very odd word to spell, right? So I restarted the stream after I looked it up in a dictionary. An online dictionary, of course, because I'm not, I'm lazy. But, programmer, right? But, yeah, so restarted the stream so we kind of hide that evidence, and then talked all about it, right? So it's the 100th episode. Not going to be doing much special about it. So we... 1 second. We implemented the interface yesterday. We didn't add the part where the menu is able to send commands back up. There's two ways we could have done it. We could have, well, there's a bunch of ways, there's 1,000 ways you could do it, of course, but there's two ways I was thinking of doing it. Either having, because the points have the combo box not actually, Okay. Sorry, Epic Launcher was trying to update something. Turned out it was just Unreal Tournament. So I'm not going to bother with that because we're streaming. But yeah, so you want to have it be contained. So you want to have the on selection event bubble up to the because it's an element inside a widget, right? You want to have it bubble up from the widget to the parent. I don't really know of an easy way to do that through blueprints. There probably is a way with, event delegators or something like that. But I tried it earlier, it didn't seem to work, so we're just doing it the kind of obvious way now, which is basically just setting a boolean and then having the parent constantly check all of the children, or the have the have the not a parent, but the screen, the big widget, check all of its children widgets to see if any of them have been true. in which case you'll say it needs to be updated, and it does that. So yeah, let's get on with that. I forgot what I was going to say with that. Oh, and the other way would be to... oh, no, I said both ways. So we're doing it the true-false way. But we don't actually have any way for the host to submit the new values. So we're going to implement that today. But now everything's all kind of contained a lot nicer. I mean, you can see here it's on tick. We check, we update the mode if it needs to be. So first thing we do is we check to see if there's a new list of modes. If there is, we branch. And then we do our things if the true is there. Then we leave. But the get menu helper, sorry, no, get menu, get list of modes automatically sets this list to sets this new value to false. So probably just say that. So we just make our note for it for later. So if we look over it, we won't be too confused. But we have this, you know, these bunch of events, and that's good. And then on the other guy here, the combo box, we then have the set visibility set up so it determines whether it's a host or not. And if it is, it sets the combo box to visible and the text to invisible or hidden. And if it's not the host, then it sets the combo box to invisible and the text box to visible. So that way, you know, that's there. And then we have the selection here. So this selection has changed. Ideally, we'd be able to call up, or we'd be able to have some event on whatever adds the widget be called and say, hey, I need to do, you know, I've been changed, do something, right? We can't do that I found easily, so we're just going to set a boolean, and we're going to have the parent check every element on it, and do that, right? Matter of fact, I was wondering if there's a better way we can do this in terms of blueprint there. To make it clear that these are groups. Or we want to have midline. I mean, I can collapse these further, but that's, you know, only so much you can do. Now we're gonna have a route node, so we have something to pull off of. So maybe we can do this like this. Oh, jeez. Should be about right. Okay. So again, it's just trying to make it so that way these are obviously groups together, where you update the dropdown, you update the selection, both in mode, both in map, both in preset. Okay, now from there we need to see if there's a new selection. If there is, pull. So let's call them box mode, gets. And then has new. Okay, get selection has changed. It's gonna be a bit ugly, but that's okay because we're just gonna drop this down into a collapse node anyway, so we won't have to see it. So if selection has changed, let's see if that's correct. So selection has changed. There we are. So now if the mode selection has changed, we will branch. We'll branch based off of this. If a selection has not changed, false, we don't care. We'll just, you know, go through to the next one. But if it has changed, we will. Oh, did we actually implement the get command here? So get selection. No, we did. Yeah. Okay. So selection, context sensitive disable. There we are. And then we have to do the get player controller. How do I do that again? Did I need to? Yeah. I don't think I need to yet. Okay. In this version, at least. Okay, then. Oh, whoops. Come on. So cast base player controller, and from here we'll do get player controller. Which will be 0. So, how do we do this? As base player controller, server, what do they even call it? Menu change mode, okay. So if a selection has changed, we get that selection, which is going to implicitly set this to false. Because that's you know, how it works. No one this event graph, sorry. And yeah, let's go through. Let me go route node. Let's see here. So halfway between the second notch. There we are. So if this works, then should be able to change a mode. Pops in the air monitor. So you'll see this here. Ooh, here's a bug. So it's changing correctly, but let's see what happens exactly happened to it there. So battle CPF. Started out broken. I wouldn't think this would fail so nastily. I was going to say that the 11th or the 100th episode I'm going to make so extraordinary that if I manage to get through without creating any bugs, I'll add a bug at the end, but looks like that's not going to be needed. The default to false, maybe that's just a problem. Okay, so let's look at what's going on. So when we so first thing we'll do is we'll break link to this, and we'll see if this just works. Really? Okay, so the map shows up immediately. So it's when we call the server command, the selection has changed. Even though it should be set to default and not. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of debugging here. We're gonna add a breakpoint. This is gonna be easy because it's, or should be easy because it's, it doesn't have us, have us to put a breakpoint in a tick between changing adjustment and setting it. So the first one should end up causing the problem. So there we are. Current value is battle. Okay, so may change from the battle. So for some reason, it is saying that something has changed. We'll do resume. So it's calling once per change, and that's it. So why is the map freaking out? So I don't know. First, I don't know why this is causing a change. That would imply that this is being called as the things being constructed. So maybe we just need to fully implement it. So maybe it's not actually a bug. So maybe it's being called on creation, and we just haven't finished it yet because we have to do menu change map. Even though it should propagate. Because this should actually forcibly propagate it, right? So menu change mode. That'll be server select mode. So in server select mode, actually we can probably inspect that right now. Choose world. Oh, we didn't have that. Now we will. Oh, come on! I really can't inspect variables while the blueprint's broken. Okay, well, whatever. Maze up helper. Let's battle chessboard 1v1. Is that this case in the server? Yeah, it's a server, so this should be. So the selected map is correct. Let's actually check one thing. So Siege. So Siege chessboard. Huh. This is not an allowed map. So the C++ is not working. Okay. New selected mode is true. New selected map is true. Oh, maybe it's not propagating down. So process list of modes. Server select mode. I thought it was propagating down, but maybe it's not. So, server select mode. Process list of maps on server select mode. The process list of maps should be there and there. Should work. So server select mode should yeah. I mean, we're gonna be running in debug very soon. We're just gonna close it down, put it back up, but. So why is it? Siege chessboard shouldn't be allowed. Because there shouldn't be a chessboard for Siege. So process list of maps. If mode name is selected mode. Okay, so let's see what the so it says Siege chessboard 1v1. That should be incorrect. Siege should not have a chessboard. Oh, I never empty them. Oh. Right. List of modes empty. List of maps never empty. And then list of presets empty. Well, that solves one mystery. So let's close this down. Save selector, sure. Okay. So we were adding impossible maps because we were starting on a map and it generated a list for it, and we kept trying to add more. And like, oh, we can't add any more, it's already there. Well, we didn't empty the list first. It was an original list, so we didn't dump it, right? Simple mistake. But now, why isn't it propagating? Oh. Server select map, list of maps. Okay. Or selected map. We need to refresh it. Or do we need to refresh it? We'll see. We shouldn't need to do it for the mode because there'd be nothing that would have it ahead of time, so if we change it, it'll be sitting a blank, but let's see if this solves the issue. Again, doing things in front of an audience is not the easiest. There we are. That's weird. That's why I switched to cross streams. Oh, because I haven't implemented it yet. Okay. So what happened there was choosing it would go to a selected map, but I don't have the selected map, like selecting a map in the drop down, setting it yet. So the mode was propagating, but the map and the preset weren't because I haven't hooked it up in UMG yet. So it's constantly when I go to chessboard until I hit siege, and then it went to, because chessboard wasn't allowed on siege, it went to cross streams, and then anytime I went back, it went to cross streams because that was a selected map, because I couldn't select the air map. I was trying to do it with the drop down, but it's not hooked up yet. It's probably a better way of explaining it. Anyway, so we're good. We just need to hook it up now. That's good. Which means we need to remove the breakpoints and copy this through. Okay. And then one more time, right around here. One more time with feeling. No. But instead of here, we're going to have this be the map combo box. Just need a little bit more room there. There we are. That's you. I mean, it was alphabetical, so I could have figured it out, but. Menu change map. Turn off content sensitivity, context sensitivity. And then drop you, preset. Presets. Let's see here. So it should work. Now, see if we can do this here. UI is not really looking so good, but it'll be, you know, easy to see. So if I go to CTF, chessboard, cross streams, chessboard, cross streams, then those. Okay, so there's different. This is updating. That's good. Let's go in. Just that CTF has the same presets for both maps. Here, Okay, so it works. We can now crush all of these. I'm not gonna sing Jonathan Colton's Crush Everything, don't worry. Well, that's an interesting glitch. Wasn't want to unhighlight, I wasn't sure if it was broken or not. Okay, that's everything selected. Now we'll do Crush 2. Or Collapse 2, what was this again? Change mode selection. So we'll do collapse to known. Change map selection. Menu will be easy. Let's actually have a route node here. So we can have an output node when we collapse it, because if we don't, it's going to end up doing that weird thing where it doesn't have an output pin. Change preset selection. Change mode selection, main map selection, change preset selection. We're still gonna need to do more, of course, because you know. These are just the elements right there. We also then need to actually, we're going to need to do more than that too, because it needs to change the preview image as well. And it will also need to change the spawn list based on number of elements. But then we also need to, on spawn list change, whenever we change any of the spawns, it'll need to do something, I think. Actually, no, we know, because we'll just have to, yeah. We'll need to propagate it, but we don't need to actually do that thing where we change other values based on it. At least I don't think so. Actually, we will a little bit, because if you select AI, or you select human, or you select disabled, it's going to affect what other elements you can interact with. UI design's hard, folks. I mean, it's unreasonably hard right now because I'm doing it about an hour or two a day on a stream, but so it'd be different if I was doing this for an 8-hour day job or something like that, but it's still pretty complex and convoluted. You think it'd be a little bit easier to do than just this, but oh well. I can really get in there. Test. Okay. So how it's going to work is this is going to be completely independent. It's just going to depend on the people who are connected. So as people enter and leave the server, this player list will propagate accordingly. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering if we should have an extra... Nah. I'm going to say we should have an extra header that will say, you know, map settings, spawns, and then like connected players or something, or if it will just be implicitly visible by the people playing it. That should be just implicit. But anyway, this is not related to anything that happens here. This is just going to be the people connecting. So as they add and join, or leave and join the server, or they change their name or something like that, it will adjust there. This is going to be dependent on this though. So this will set the spawn. So actually, I'm not sure. I've explained it a while ago, but it's been a while. So how it works is when you're in a round setting. So let's go here. So I need to actually change this at some point, but when you join a lobby, this column here will select the main round settings, like what game mode you're on, what map you're on, what preset you're on, if you want to have a non-custom experience, right? As a matter of fact, I should probably have it so that way the code... I was planning on this, but I was planning on having the code be custom to begin with. So, how custom would work is basically everyone starts off disabled, so you have to manually add players to the game, but the presets would change everything you need except for physically assigning a player to the spot. As for the AI type, I'm hoping to have it be a bit more like you'd be able to choose. Do I have anything here? Let's stop this. Let's go into the designer here. Which is spawn slot. There we are. So here we have an ugly representation of it because it's not scaled appropriately. It's going to be a lot smaller than this. But this is going to be the type of player. So it would be like if they're AI, a player, or disabled. This will be the team number. So whatever team they're on, this is going to be the name. So I'm thinking for the name of the AI, I can have it be a general description of what they do. So if I have an AI that's like rush heavy, then I'll have it be there. If I have an AI that is, and also be able to, let's just set random, of course. And if I have an AI that's like, you know, wants to hoard all the units, I can have that be there as well. So give it a bit of a different feel, and people can actually choose which one they're against. That seems like a good idea. Could be a bad idea, but it seems like a good idea. And that way, in the game mode, I'll just say, like, you know, when I create the AI, I'll have a little flag on the specific AI turn to say this one is going to, you know, do that. Actually, that's not even a good idea. I was thinking about it for a little while, but I mean, now that I say it out loud, that won't really work, because the point of this is to have the players be separate, right? And I mean, I could do like the Unreal Tournament thing where we have Locke, or you know, Locke and Malcolm and stuff like that. And for example, Locke, the reason why you keep using Locke is because his the character has a bonus to its accuracy, such that when you're on the monster, what was it called? The godlike difficulty. How am I forgetting what the Unreal Tournament difficulty settings were? I think it's godlike difficulty. When you're against the Locke, he has 100% hit accuracy on his AI. So if he has a hit, like, you know, a sniper rifle or something, and you are in his, you know, visibility, like he can see you, he's going to take your head off. Like he has an aimbot, he's going to take your head off, and that was the idea behind it. So there was a bit of a challenge for Unreal Tournament players to. Again, I never really did it myself. I was just kind of hearing from other people who, you know, played Unreal Tournament a lot. I used to play with a bunch of Beyond Unreal people that are kind of hardcore into it. And there apparently was a what's the word? A thing where people were trying to, like, you know, beat Locke in like a sniper rifle match. So you're basically trying to beat an AI hitbot. An AI aimbot, right, with sniper rifles, and some people have done it apparently, but still, that's less about accuracy, more about trying to make sure that you can, you know, prevent him from getting a sniper rifle. And if you do, you shoot him in the back of the head or something. I don't know the details of it, but it was interesting. So we can do something like that for this and give them personalities, and we can assign the players to it. But the thing is, the main reason for separating the AI by name is so we're allowed to assign a certain number of turns that they get within a round, well, within a loop, right? So each player will have an equal rate, as it stands right now, that each player should have an equal rating of the number of turns they'll have. So it'll be player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, assuming all 4 of them are on the same team. And after each one, it will reverse. So player 1 from team 1, player 1 from team 2, player 1 from team 3, player 2 from team 1, player 2 from team 2, let's say there's only one player on team 3, player 1 from team 3, player 3 from, and you can see how it kind of loops around, right? It's hard to just say that in, you know, without some visual representation. But the if we start doing, like, you know, AI rush, AI this, AI that, if you want to have multiple of them on a team, it'll kind of all crush them into a single player, so that one player, regardless of how many spawns they get, will have the same number of turns. So it'll be player AI, as opposed to player AI. You can get around that not in a, you know, functional way, because, I mean, the functional way is like, I want to have 3 AIs on my team, 2 of them are going to rush, one of them's, and the last one's going to hoard pieces or whatever, right? There wouldn't be any way to do that, but what we could do is we could have, you know, a series of names, and you'll know that, you know, Locke, let's use the Unreal Tournament names, for example. I'm not going to, but let's just pretend the Unreal Tournament names, for example. If I add Locke, he's going to do this sort of build. If I add whatever, he's going to do this sort of build, typically, right? And there'll be some randomization there as well. That'll be a bit more of a challenge factor to it. Like, not challenge factor, there'd be a bit more of a narrative factor, so people will be a bit more forgiving for the fact that you just can't, you know, assign whatever skill you want. I mean, I could add an extra drop-down menu and have them, or have multiple names where the strategies are, you know, pretty similar or overlap slightly or whatever. And also, this is a demo, so it really doesn't matter that much, but it's something to think about, right? Let's just keep going. I talked a lot with a kind of a unstructured rant about Unreal Tournament's, the original one's playstyle. Alright. Might as well actually get some work done. Okay. So we're gonna comment these up. Come on. So you are going to be update drop downs and selections. Check for host change. Check whether host changed settings. So we're gonna, update that, check whether they've been changed, and then and you may wonder why we did the check after the update. It probably doesn't matter our direction we're gonna do it, but this is gonna be asynchronous anyway. It's just gonna send out a network request. So it's going to return, and it's not going to update this frame anyway, so whether you would the beginning of the frame and the end of the frame doesn't really matter, because I have to wait for network traffic, so, right. I mean, it might be an issue if you have like a task bot or whatever trying to change settings and starting on the next frame, or the same frame, just because it's spamming inputs. But tool-assisted speedruns, while cool, I'm not gonna really consider too much for the demo. Not in the sense of just making my UI update in a optimal way. There are some things that are cool, some things that are just a bit too much. So, updates selections, check where settings have changed, and now we're going to need to do a number of spawn slots. So actually, before we do this, we need to do this in C++ first. We need to add a bit more data in C++. So what we need here we are. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to need to get UI controller. Pragma region. What's it called again? The spawn slots. I really don't think I'm going to need this, so I might have to delete it, but yeah. So in our check it types here, we're going to have to find out how many number of spawns we have. Won't bother for the presets, it only matter for the map and mode. So fmap info, get current map. And we're going to Pragma region slots. Pragma region. Actually, I don't even probably need this in here. probably be better up here. Actually, the helper function should be all the way to bottom. Just keep my style consistent. So did I really have that all the way in there? Huh. One second. Oh, I gotta love sneezes, right? Come on. A menu setup helper. Get current map. I don't know why I tried to put the semicolon there. There we are. And if game instance. I'll then so it's game instance map info, map listing. F map info selected map equals F map info. Okay, so for F map info current info in a game instance map list. If current info dot map name equals selected map and current info dot mode name equals selected mode. Selected map. Oh, that's why I'm sorry. Select map info. Let's do selected info equals current info. So what am I even doing? Much easier. Any thoughts on No Man's Sky? I never really was interested in it. So, I mean, game development is really, really hard. As you can see, I'm struggling for weeks to make a simple main menu, right? Mind you, it's, again, struggling in front of a webcam, trying to explain everything I'm doing to make it interesting, right? Where I can't just, watch a YouTube video and hammer it out over an hour or two, but from a dead POV, maybe it must have been a complicated game. It depends on what they're trying to do, right? I mean, all games are complicated. That one in particular, I mean, it could be pretty difficult to get it right and get done. When you're starting to procedurally generate stuff, then, oops, I should actually save and save. So I mean, yeah, when you're trying to do that sort of stuff, it could be very difficult because you're not trying to solve a problem, you're trying to create a problem solver for a problem, right? So it does make a bit, you have to kind of think a bit outside the box for that, but I mean, you can do that with components and stuff like that. Now, in the aspect of making a system that can smoothly transition from, you know, ground level to world to space and back again, so you can just get in your ship and take off and leave the atmosphere and you're gone. That takes quite a bit of interesting technology to do that. I think it would be possible to do it in like an Unreal Engine 4 or something like that. However, it takes a lot of time. I think they made their own engine for that, which is fine because, I mean, they don't have to run anyone else's issues with level streaming or something like that, but and try and make all these things match up. But when they're doing their own engine, like, things can go wrong, right? You need a lot of QA to get a good engine done, right? So, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's a very interesting game concept they're trying to do. I think it's easy to say that it should have been worked on a little bit more, but we don't know what their circumstances was. We don't know if Sony said, hey, if you don't release it next, you know, this quarter, or within, you know, if they said a year ago, you don't release it within the next year or something, we're going to pull your funding or something like that. That could be a big thing, like, well, let's shove the turd, right? You know, wrap it up in a bow, out the door, hope no one cares, right? That could be one thing that happened, or maybe they just thought it was done. I don't know. It wasn't though. So there's a lot of crashing and stuff that people are doing even on the consoles, which people are like, oh, even the consoles, but assuming that PC's gonna be more unstable, but well, it ends up being that way because there's so much more of a surface for it. There's been times where PC releases have actually been more stable than console releases. A good example is Fallout New Vegas. And the reason why in that case was because Microsoft and Sony had their holiday QA log full. So Bethesda had to kind of push one through to make the release date. And then they made a patch and they had to push that through, but they weren't letting it through. So on the PC they released the patch almost immediately because who QAs the PC apart from the company that releases the software? There's no one stepping in between you. But on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, the patch was delayed like 2 months, I think it was. People were, you know, playing, or a month or something like that, where people were playing a game and you're like walking and falling through the floor, right? Like that level of certification, just because it wasn't able to get through. Yeah, I don't really know much about No Man's Sky, what their circumstances was. They may have needed to release it like this for a specific reason, in which case that's a sad truth of doing things for money, right? That's sometimes you have to give up your artistic vision at some point or for some level to, you know, make bank, right? Not make bank like, you know, make a lot of money, greedy, whatever, but like actually like make your payroll, right? So it seems like it was just pushed a little early for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. It could have been like, sorry, you had no other choice, or it could have been, you know, arrogance or whatever. We don't know, and I'm not gonna judge people for that. Lucky we're not at what point yet. Sorry, I was rambling a lot of things, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. But while we're going here, let's start with this. So get current map. So now I know what the current map is. I'm able to get a number of spawns. So having to compromise your vision for an early release. Well, I mean, in Checkit's case, I'm going to be releasing it early. It's going to be a preview, right? Unless a publisher steps in and says, hey, make this game for whatever, in which case, well, who knows. But the way it stands right now, I'm going to be releasing this as an early demo. Just proof of concept so people can see, hey, this is the type of game I'm trying to make. If you want to watch it on Twitch or whatever, watch me on Twitch, right? And again, it's not really... I don't really have a vision much for the game, right? It's just, you know, it's going to be a fairly simple, competitive game. I'm not saying competitive in, like, the hardcore competitive game. I'm making it a bit more casual in chess. However, hardcore chess is pretty hardcore. Grandmasters can be pretty good at this game, but, or at chess itself. So I'm making it, you know, stepping back from there, but it's not like it's a, you know, game that has a story, a narrative, a theme, or something you're trying to convey. It's a game, right? Which, not saying it's better or worse, who cares, right? But it doesn't really have much of an artistic vision in that sense. It's just a matter of being what's fun, right? Like what actually has a challenging aspect to it. A more classical game, right? Okay, so spawn slots. T-Ray. Do they even have a spawn slot? Already set up? I know I did in general, but I don't know for spawn percent area. So spawn number, type, team number. Oh, I actually need to change that now because I have to have the name. Oh, no, that's not right. Okay. Unless I want to use the same structure for both. What am I doing? Here. See. Unreal projects. Check it. Registered maps. Map less than 9. Edits with notepad. So, 2 player there. So. Alright, so we're going to need to, let's create a new one. Might as well. Okay, so team list, team, competitor, move, P state, tile state. So before move would be competitor. So is that a good place to put it? Yeah, sure, why not? So view struct, blueprint type. Struct F spawn slot, and do generated body, and then U property. So what do I have this for again? It was spawn number. Do we have that there? Okay, so 32 spawn number, new property. You competitor type and team number, okay. What do I call it again? Type. View property. 32 team number. This is why I'm not sure if I should reuse the same one or not. Or create a new structure, but because it's going to be basically the same thing. But not quite the same thing. Sorry, spawn slots. List of spawns. Oh, actually it will be, because I have to create a default. So, what's constructor again? Okay, so F spawn slot. Spawn number equals 1. Type equals the competitor type. Disabled. Team number equals -1. And player name equals text default. Plus 2 overloads. So let's actually look up briefly. Ustruct constructor. Didn't actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, about that. U block should be F. Yeah. Whatever. We'll see. So basically I wanted this to default to this sort of stuff. See if this compiles. Unfortunately, when you change something in check it types, it's going to make the entire project recompile. Because it's referenced everywhere. Kind of why I want to get done and over with without having to, you know. Actually. Okay then. Thought the null macro would handle that, but apparently not. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to okay, so it build fun. Okay. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to add an arbitrary amount of spawn slots to the level and having for the menu helper, so that they'll all populate here and the host can change them, and the clients can see the changes by replication. That's all going to bounce through the menu step helper actor, same as these guys here. Right. And it's going to vary based on the map and mode, but not the preset. The preset's just going to change the values inside it. They may think, well, if the preset's for a number that spawns that doesn't have, that's too small for it, basically, and the answer then is it's just going to disable the extra ones, right? So you can re-enable them if you want, but you know. Okay, so for spawn slots, how are we gonna do this? So on has authority to process system modes. And that propagates down. So process list of maps we're gonna have actually on reverse select maps, sorry. We're gonna have process list of spawns. So here, property is transient and replicated. Should I probably use this guy here? Of course I do that and go to the wrong spots. Whoops. On rep list of spawns. So unfortunately we're going to be doing an entire list of spawns, so we're not going to be able to selectively change individual spawns. For that, we're just going to have any change blow through and update them all at once. That will kind of be what we need to do. So, yep. The list of and the reason why is because, okay, so yeah, the reason why we can't break them out individually is because we don't know how many spawns it's going to be, because it's going to be changed by level, right? So we can only have one slot for a list and see what's in the list to deal with that. We can't just bake in a number, right? We wouldn't want to bake in a number, even though it would make it a bit easier. Well, a bit more time consuming and tedious, but a bit easier to code, because we don't have to be like for loop everything. And then you function. Do I do on rep list of spawns? Yeah. Okay. I'm still going to need this to make a blueprint callable. Actually, let's do it right now. Screw it. T-array, not f-string, T-array, f spawn slot. So I'm not quite sure how this works. Because if you've been following, you know that, and I probably do know this, so I probably shouldn't say anything and just look up and be like, oh, alright, I'm not making myself look like an idiot, but I'm gonna make myself look like an idiot. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is between that and passing things by reference, because you structs don't really like that. So let's look up again. So I'm not trying to reach in and change it, I'm passing it out.
Let's play. Turbo mode enabled. Pinball.
Unless F string is special. This might be a problem.
Turbo mode enabled.
Let's try building and see what happens. Oh, because it isn't, yeah, void.
Let's play pinball.
So what is the problem?
Pinball. Turbo mode.
Turn use struct reference.
Enabled. Pinball. Turbo mode enabled.
Weird.
Turbo mode enabled.
Let's look at the, before we go, because it's almost 11, let's look at the Unreal Engine. We're gonna look at Unreal Tournament source, but yeah, a second. GitHub. Copy password, then copy my username afterwards. Don't save. And there we are. Although I want to do Unreal Tournament. Actually, easy way to do that is just do search for this. Or not, because this doesn't work so well. So weird. Actually, maybe it was good if I pass destruct blueprint. Just see if it works. I'm not sure how this would actually be allowed. And unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot of other things we can do besides when it comes to changing stuff. We'll have to kind of send the entire list. Well, we can either send the entire list, or we can say this one's been changed by this value. Yeah, don't really know. Okay, so it makes me sound dumb. Right now I'm talking about server commands from the UI to the through the player controller to the server. I'm not exactly sure how we would send just a specific one. I mean, I know how we would send it. We'd take the index and send it off, but whether that would be more error prone than... I mean, yeah, I guess it would be the... It should be the computer, it would just work, right? So I'm thinking of setting a lot of different changes at once if someone's just really spamming the interface. Where we want to send the entire list of spawns and basically like, this is a new state, this is a new state, this is a new state, or we want to send differentials based on the number of ones we have, and that could be a problem too, right? Anyway. Turning into an extraordinary one. Alright, yeah, we need to do this first. Spawns. And what was it called again? It was process list of spawns. There we are. So I do the do I want to do that or just want to have a num? No, let's not store the number of spawns. That'll just be a, you know, that should be a source of bugs. Okay. Function void. Access list of spawns. Trying to think of the verbiage that would be best to create a list of spawns and the other stuff we need to do with them. It's not process the spawns, it would just be server set number of spawns. Or server change in spawn number. Spawn count, I should say. There we are. So, int 32 spawn number or a number. Let's just say count. Sure, why not? Void server change spawn count. In 32 count. List of spawns dot empty. So when they change map or mode, it's going to dump all the spawns and send them default. And then for int 32 I equals 0, I less than count, I plus plus, list of spawns dot add f spawn slot cult. I can't type. Wow. Oh, whoops. And then, on rep list of spawns. And then all this will be, if roll equals authority. It should work. Okay. We're probably gonna want to have a blueprint, sorry, a function as well. That again, it's past 11, but probably have functions as well that will allow us to get the spawn slot information of any given slot and so on and so forth. So that way we don't have to do stuff in blueprints. We can just like say C++ give us data, C++ give us data, because I want to do all data in C++ if we can, because it's ugly, as you can, or it's ugly in blueprints as you can kind of see from our previous attempts. It's better if we just have it be like separate and have the back end be C++ and then have the front end only grab what we need to do, draw the front end. Anyway, so that's everything. Thanks everyone for watching the extraordinary 100th episode since the restart. Have a good one, and we're ending right on time apparently. Da, da.